all the guides are leaving. Just the way I like it. It's like I need more rods in the boat. I don't have enough rods in my way. Okay. Get these out of here. This motor started. Well, here we are again, folks, because I'm a glutton for punishment. A couple days ago, I was in beautiful weather with Mike fishing for kokanee on a lake, and here I am in the rain. Stick with me. I am slowly going to work my way down to the Blue Creek area. Give time for the pressure to cool down, people to leave. Pull some plugs and hit some spots on the way down there. Another beautiful day on the Cowlitz River. Uh-oh, I said Cowlitz River. Last time somebody commented on one of the videos chewing me out for divulging the locations where I fish. I think that's kind of funny because most of the places that I fish are pretty common. Everybody knows them. It's not a secret. Besides, it's nice when no one else is around and I can fish in solitude. It would be great if I could do that and have a lot of fish here at the same time like it was 40 years ago, but it's not like that anymore. So, hey, everybody come on down and try to catch some fish. Isn't that what it's all about anyway? Come on down. It's the Cowlitz River. But you can't catch anything when your plug is on the top. It's not like we're fishing for bass or even tuna. Hey, by the way, if you want to see tuna caught on topwater poppers, go to my playlist, Offshore Fishing Adventures. And there's a short video in there of me and Mike and the crews, a couple other buddies. We found a school of tuna after plugging the boat with at least 40 fish. Found a school of tuna that were still willing to play, and Steve and I started throwing topwater poppers at them. It was amazing. You should check it out. Well, we are in the middle of a beautiful drift. It can't get any better than it is right now, other than having a fish hit. Be nice to catch a fish right there with the backdrop of that little stream running into the river. This is the major advantage about fishing when there's no other boats around. If I was in a line with other boats, you know, when you get hung up like this, you just got to tighten your drag or grab your spool and break it off. And that's I don't like doing that. I like being able to run up and try to get my gear off. So I don't want to lose a lot of gear, and I don't want to leave it in the river. Usually if you get up over it, on top of it, you know, you can pull it off. Oh, without breaking off. Which in this case didn't work. Wow, it turned out to be a beautiful afternoon. I don't even know what time it is, but I only had, it's 3:21. 3:21, the rain has stopped. I only had a couple hours to fish. I'm gonna zip on down and see if I can catch a fish a little bit lower. Somebody mentioned to me in the last, one of my last videos, that I shouldn't be standing up running the river. And I do get complacent when that comes to that, because I run this river all the time, have for 40 years. But look, I'm gonna use my safety kill switch lanyard. There. Now I'm safe. Ideally, when you're bobber dogging like this, you want your line with a bow in it to help pull the bobber downriver in a straight line. And you want your presentation just barely tapping the bottom every now and then. So your presentation is going to be drifting at a slightly slower speed than the river itself. Because you can see the bobber tapping every now and then. And then every now and then it goes down like that. And you're saying, what? Right about here is where I missed a fish last week. Every time I drift by this place, I think to myself, man, there's got to be fish here. And then last week, bam, I missed one. The Cowlitz River Madhouse. Yeah, I think that's my buddy. Nope, that's not him. Looks like I got here just in time. All the guides are leaving. Just the way I like it. I want to get the boat in the perfect position in this spot before I start my drift. Very crucial. So you have to be the right distance away. The boat has to be positioned at the right angle or else the river will catch the bow and push it in a direction you do not like. I think that's almost perfect right there. You have to have the bow of the boat out a little bit. Or else the river will catch the bow and pull it over. And then you'll be fishing in the spot where, or your boat will be in a position where you actually want your presentation to be undisturbed by boat traffic. Everything is looking spectacular. Now we just need a fish to agree with us. But sometimes that doesn't happen. If you guys are on a guide boat, you could be doing the same exact thing that I'm doing now, or that 90% of people do now, and be more successful at it simply because you are on a guide's boat. Now, why is that? It's because you have, the guide boat is going to have 4 or more, I should say, lines in the water. And they cover a larger swath of water when they're drifting down. So as opposed to having one presentation, you have 4 to 6, sometimes 7 and even 8 presentations that could cover 60 feet of the area of the drift when you're coming down. And so if a fish doesn't want to hit one, it might get aggravated and hit the second or the third or the fourth or the fifth or the sixth. So they have a lot more coverage. So they're fishing 6 times. If there's 6 people, they're fishing 6 times more effectively, regardless of what they're using. But when you're down here, when you have one presentation like I do now, fish could easily just move away from it if it's not exactly what they want at the time. Fish don't always strike because they're hungry and they want to eat. They'll strike because they get irritated, angry, want to kill it. It's in their way. Salmon will pick things up. Oh, actually, every fish will pick things up to move it if it's in their way. So there's a lot of reasons why a fish will take something in its mouth. Somehow I got a knot in my line. I've got a knotty line. The first drift was bobber dogging eggs. Second drift was bobber dogging coon shrimp. Now this one's going to be free drifting eggs. That bad boy right there. Let's give them what they want. What you want, what you want. What's Mike saying here? There must be a delay. You were driving up the river when you just texted me. Sometimes free drifting eggs works good. Used to be the thing to do before bobber dogging. Bobber dogging wasn't always the hot thing. Okay, never mind. I don't have time to watch that. What's going on here? Just saying, I just went by the camera. In case you guys didn't know, when you're free drifting eggs like this, you want to keep it at a 45-degree angle. So for you free drifters out there, remember that. But you probably already know that if you're a free drifter, right? I gotta make sure I keep the rotation going properly. Next one up on the rotation was the bobber doggin egg setup. It goes egg, coon shrimp, and then free drift. I like to have it start on the inside of that seam. It's much slower there. There's a pocket of slower water on the other side of that seam. So the river wants to drag the boat and your presentation past that spot. But you have to hold in the river in order to hit that spot over there. And it's really hard to do when you have other boats pushing you down river. But when you're by yourself like this, you can do it a lot easier. So this is drift number 4. First drift was bobber doggin eggs. Second drift, bobber doggin coon shrimp. Third drift, free drifting eggs. And now I'm back to bobber doggin eggs. So drift number 4. And I'm going through a rotation here, offering them different presentations of eggs and coon shrimp. There's that knot again. Look at this knot right here. Isn't that crazy? I'm gonna leave it in there. It doesn't seem to be affecting the line, although, you know, knots do weaken line. But this is 30-pound test braid. I don't think it's gonna have any effect on this at all. You know, a 10-pound fish with 30-pound line with a knot in it, I'm not worried about it at all. Of course, there's a lot of things I don't worry about anymore, which is most things I don't worry about. My dad always told me when I was, growing up that you need to focus on the things you can change, or the things you can make make a change with it. So that means don't worry about things you can't change. No matter where you go fishing, all it takes is one fish to make the day. You know what I mean? That's all it takes. So if you guys like kokanee fishing, take a look at that video I posted yesterday of Mike and I catching 20 kokanee. It was the first time I've caught kokanee in 30 years. And man, it was so awesome. And I smoked them up. I guess I should have made a smoking video. And we caught 20 kokanee between Mike and I, 10 apiece, that was the limit. And man, let me tell you, I smoked those up yesterday and they were bloody awesome. I mean, absolutely delicious. So check out that video. I think I got a tangle. Something's wrong. Yeah, no bait anyway. Drift number 5. Up in the rotation. Coon shrimp. It's what's for dinner. The thing about steelhead fishing here for me on this river is that I rarely do it for an extended period of time. We came down here this afternoon, and I planned on spending, like 3 hours to just make a series of drifts down through this area here. And so I don't spend an enormous amount of time when I'm steelhead fishing. I like working with computers. I do my own editing on my virtual tours for my real estate business. My daughter and I, we make our own video tours for houses, so I have all the software and all that and the know-how to do that, which is kind of nice. Not everybody has that skill set, to start off with. And if you guys didn't know it, you know, I do own a real estate company. It's called Northwest Home Sales. Kind of a spin-off of Northwest Fishing Fanatics was a kind of a spin-off of Northwest Home Sales. I started it in 2007. For the first 9 years I was in the real estate business. Started in 1998. I was with John L. Scott as an associate broker. And then I started Northwest Home Sales in 2007. So I've been doing this for 23 years, selling houses. And if you or someone you know needs an experienced real estate broker, have them give me get in contact with me. Head up for drift number 6. Drift number 6. Up on the menu, free drifting. This is what was up next in the rotation. Bobber Doggin eggs, Bobber Doggin Coon Stripe, free drifting eggs. This is the second round. 6 drifts. This is going to be my last drift down here, and then I'm going to make a couple more up in the upper part before I take off. Hoser. So you may notice when I fish down here, sometimes I don't catch fish. Shocking, I know. But you know, not catching fish is part of fishing. You can't expect to catch fish every time. And I know when you're, making a TV show about fishing or videos about fishing, it's always great to be able to show people that you know how to catch fish. But the thing is, what you're seeing is reality. The reality is sometimes you don't catch fish. And even though I'm making videos, I'm going to make a video that's based on reality. And sure, I mean, I could spend all day down here, or 2 days, or 3 days down here, catch a fish, edit it all into one video and make it look awesome because I caught a fish. But that's not how things work. And I don't want to be phony. So sometimes I'll catch fish when I come down here, sometimes I won't. And if you try to tell me that you catch fish every time you go steelhead fishing, never been much of a plug puller. Just seems boring to me. I like the action of a moving boat, or twitching jigs, or floating eggs. Something that involves some type of activity and actually doing something instead of just sitting there. This would be drift number 7 in the rotation. Back to the Bobber Doggin eggs, which was number 1. I don't know if I have time to make 2 drifts. It's getting dark. I mean, it doesn't seem like it's getting dark now, but with overcast and the time it takes me to back up to my place, in drift number 5, I think it was, I was talking about not catching fish. And sometimes, like I mentioned earlier, I don't catch fish. And this might sound crazy. I don't know how long you've been fishing, but I've been fishing for decades. My dad, I was basically raised with a fishing pole and a shotgun in my hand. And I've fished all over the place, Alaska to Florida. And although I love to catch fish, being out here and fishing is just something that I've always done. And catching fish is a bonus to being out here. It's nice to catch fish, but I'll be honest with you, there's more times where I go fishing where I don't catch fish. And really, it doesn't matter to me. I have just as much fun being out here not catching fish as I do catching fish. And for you guys that come out here and that's all you want to do is catch fish, that's great. And you may not understand what I'm talking about, but maybe after you've been fishing for 40 years or 50 years, I mean, I'm 62, believe it or not, and I've been fishing a long time. And I've learned a long time ago that it's not about catching fish. It's about being in the outdoors. It's about being with your friends. It's about spending time, actually figuring out who you are. And fishing out here by yourself. Right now, I'm the only boat on the river. Seriously. There's no other boats on the river. There's maybe 10 bank fishermen down there. And if I catch a fish, that's great. But being the only boat on the river, there's a certain amount of solitude and gratification that comes with being able to do that. And luckily, you know, I have a lifestyle to which I can come down here and I can fish as often as I want, really. I could work from my boat here if I need to. But I can conduct a lot of business out here. The only place I can't conduct business when I'm fishing is out in the ocean when I'm tuna fishing or halibut fishing, because we're 40 to 70 miles offshore. And there's no reception out there. I think I'm gonna have to make this my last drift. Light is getting a little low. So I'll finish the drift at the top of this tail out here. In one of those videos, I think it was maybe in the last river fishing video I did, you'll see how fast it gets dark. Yeah, so we'll go past here down by these bank fishermen and we'll call it a day. Oh, I thought that was a fish. Oh my gosh, that would have been perfect. Wow. That would be something. End the day with a nice fish. And this is exactly the same spot where I missed a fish last week. 7 drifts. And it was awesome. I was the only boat on the river for 95% of what I was doing tonight. And it would have been nice to catch a fish, but I don't always catch fish. I don't care. I love it out here. So I'm gonna head back up the river. I wanna thank you guys for joining me once again on one of my fishing adventures. For all you that have subscribed to the channel, thank you very much. If you're not subscribed yet, please do so. Till next time, peace, tight lines, and I'll see you on the river or on the lake. Yeah. Bye now.